physical post player. Amazing.
And we are underway here at the Donald L. Tucker Civic Center. Opening tip-off goes to Pittsburgh. They will inbound. And Melissa, like we were talking about here in the open with Makayla Timpson and Khadija Faye, we can have block parties on both sides of the court. Not only are they great rebounders, but they're both top 10 in the entire country in blocks.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that matchup inside.
It'd be interesting to see how these guards for both of these teams provide pivotal scoring outside of the two key players here, number 15 in blue and number 21 in white. Washenitz tries her to go at it, but it is put back quickly by Faye.
I mentioned the offensive rebounding presence of Faye. Grabs the first offensive board and sticks it back in to give Pitt the lead.
Yeah, she does a great job in particular on the offensive glass as this pass from Dos Santos, little off the mark to Timpson, and that will go to the Panthers.
Yeah, I mentioned without Tanaya Latson and Omaria Gordon, Hayani Dos Santos is going to have the ball in her hands quite a bit for Florida State. That time, just a little bit too quick on the pass to KK Timpson.
So early bucket for the Panthers has them out to a 2-0 lead. So trying to work the ball back to Faye. It's double teamed, even triple teamed, and this one going the way of the Seminoles. I thought it may have been tipped. But a good job defensively, staying strong down low was Florida State. So the Noles in all whites, the Panthers in all blue. Brooke Wyckoff shouting directions and trying to get the ball inside to her protege, Makayla Timpson. It was acknowledged just before the national anthem here on reaching 1,000 career rebounds, only the third Seminole in program history to reach that feat. Timpson unable to get that one to go down, a little too strong as Faye was right in her way in the paint.
And again, that's a matchup we need to keep an eye on. Which of those two post players will pick up that first foul first, and who can score on the other one?
Faye trying to split a double team in the middle, and Seminoles once again able to meet her down low.
Not sure if KK Timpson will get credit for the block on that one, but good defense inside. That ball will go to the Seminoles.
Now Carla Viegas comes off the bench for the Seminoles, first substitution of the match. Viegas, a big-time three-point shooter, leads the Seminoles in three-point percentage. Timpson now gets her first bucket. So as we mentioned, the matchup we were anticipating, Faye and Timpson with the first buckets for both teams.
Yeah, Pitt that time looked like in a bit of a 2-3 zone. Florida State gets the ball into Timpson at the high post. She makes him pay.
Faye trying a shot outside. This one a little too short off the front of the rim. Back the other way we go, and the Seminoles definitely like an up-tempo approach. And that's one of the things that was really instrumental with both Latson and Gordon. They were the two fastest players on the court. As Bowles draws a foul, and she'll go to the line.
Sydney Bowles is going to be also called on to handle the basketball a lot for Florida State. There you take a look. KK Timpson there catching the ball at that high post and taking advantage of Brooklyn Miles at just 5'5".
Bowles knocks the first one down.
Sydney Bowles from the free throw line, 84% this year. She's a transfer from Texas A&M, averaging just over 10 points a game for the Noles this season.
Considered the sixth player off the bench for the Seminoles, but with Latson and Gordon out, she is as part of the starting five here for Florida State, averaging just over 10 points a game off an 18-point performance against the Canes. It really got off to a strong start in that game. Washenitz denied by Timpson. Add another block for number 21.
KK Timpson has to be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year. She is a game changer inside for Florida State.
How about the fact that she goes on the jump? Washenitz tried the double move, and she still had the length to come away with all ball. Highly impressive, adjusting on the fly. Turnover here as Pitt wants to work the transition themselves. That's an area where the Panthers have done a nice job as of late. Last four opponents, they've forced 15 or more turnovers as a travel against Pitt. Gives the ball right back to Florida State.
And Michaela Johnson that time got by Amaya Bonner, but then the help side there, and she took an extra step to try to get past Florida State. I like this decision by Tori Verdi to try to press Florida State kind of keeping them off rhythm again without those guards. It forces Sydney Bowles and Amaya Bonner to have to make some decisions with the basketball. Florida State already 4 turnovers here early in this game.
There you just saw Torrey Verdi in his second season with Pitt, and he's trying to accomplish something that Pitt has never done, and that's defeat the Seminoles. 0 for 11 are the Panthers in program history. The coach that's known for turning programs around at Eastern Michigan and UMass, trying to do the same here with Pitt. Shot by Miles off the mark. Good ball handling here by Bowles. Working her way back up the court. Williams from the corner, unable to go down, but a nice rebound by Timpson. Double teams, down the paint, back to Williams, but it's denied.
That was a great look, yeah,
Elmore
inside
right
for KK Timpson, passing to Malaya Williams. And Maya Bonner going high to grab that defensive board.
Both teams showing some defensive prowess here as Viegas tries to get things right back, and this one rattles in and out of the cage.
Both teams shooting ice cold from the floor. Pitt 1 of 8 to start the game. Florida State 1 of 5 to start this game.
That's 12% and 20%. Pitt on average is just south of 38% on the season from the floor. And Faye draws the foul, and she will go to the line for a 1-on-1.
Good aggressive take off the dribble from Khadija Faye. It's where she's at her best, when she catches at that elbow area, puts it on the floor, and takes it at KK Timpson.
These two are just going to battle all night long. Both have 13 double-doubles on the season. See Torrey Verdi once again. He's a former assistant coach for the Connecticut Sun on the WNBA level. His lone NCAA tournament appearance as a head coach was a few years ago with UMass in 2022.
And funny story, he was actually with the Connecticut Sun at the same time head coach Brooke Wyckoff for Florida State played for the Connecticut Sun.
Now they're both side by side down that coach's line, right there at the scorer's table. Shot off the mark by Timpson again. Pitt's doing a nice job of just getting in the paint and clogging the lane, not allowing Timpson to have any maneuver toward the basket.
Yeah, just doing a great job defensively, keeping Florida State out of a rhythm right now. Florida State really hasn't had a clean look at the basket at all.
It's one of the keys, talking with Coach Verdi this week. We've got to contain FSU's dribble penetration, limit their transition. And without Dotson and Gordon, that transition game kind of goes a little stale perhaps for the Seminoles, so the dribble penetration's really been a focus. And double teams here. There's a shot from outside, still no go here. That's time for Bowles. Seminoles really struggling right now. Pitt's doing a great job of getting in the face of Florida State's guards and down low. There's Brooklyn Miles. Dos Santos on her. A nice screen set up by Elmore.
Elmore did a nice job pushing Snoop Turnage up high and creating that driving lane for her teammate, Brooklyn Miles, with her first bucket.
And it gives Pitt the lead for the first time this evening. Last 5 minutes here in this opening salvo. Snoop Turnage inside to Timpson. Great job of working the baseline to her advantage to find Timpson open underneath the basket.
Nice find from Snoop Turnage. She's a veteran on this team, has started a number of games this season and last for Florida State. Look for her to step up and have a bigger role here tonight for Florida State.
Elmore passes right down low to Washenitz, past Timpson. Harley Washenitz gets back on the board and right back the other way. Pitt with an answer. Washenitz has been one of those players trying to get more consistent scoring. Has had 10+ points in 7 of her last 11 games. This is the kind of game Pitt wants it to be. Pass inside Elmore. Great handle, just stay with that ball, but unable to finish. Seminoles trying to pick up the pace. Pitt doing a nice job of getting back in position. Now Dos Santos. Crossover move, tries to feed. This pass off the mark and goes out of bounds. Pitt holding their own right now in this first quarter. 3:14 left to go. The Panthers up 7-6 here in Tallahassee.
Brooke Wyckoff will ever do if she can pull off a win here and continue on that high-scoring pace with the Seminoles.
Got your two best leading scorers. It is a challenge, and certainly been putting in the work this week to try and keep that kind of trend going.
And I'm sure her message in there in the huddle, we weren't able to listen in, but I'm going to guess that it was just, hey, relax, settle down, do your thing. Florida State with a bunch of turnovers early, and that's KK Timpson doing what she does, going to work in the paint for Florida State.
Timpson at 6'2", but does a nice job of slipping through and getting low to make her way and maneuver toward under the basket. And right back is Khadija Faye doing what she does as well, just going over the top with that hook shot. And Timpson once again, so the Noles, I think out of that timeout, let's get the ball to our dominant forward, right?
I'm sure that was the message in there. And then KK Timpson there with the block.
Makayla Johnson trying to charge her way down that left side, that far side of the court. As Amaya Bonner rolls, and that one somehow doesn't want to fall, and it leaks out of the far side.
Amaya Bonner has been coming on as of late for Florida State. Put on a show in California back at her former school, and I think gave her the confidence to step up and play a bigger role here down the stretch for the Noles.
Faye outside shot, not to be had on that one.
Yeah, both teams trying to go inside and establish that paint presence inside.
Mentioned Bonner, who's been somewhat of a spark off the bench this season. Tell you what, if she can do things like that and charging, maybe draw fouls will help too. And gets the bucket to get the Noles out to a 3-point lead. She has missed one free throw this entire season. She is definitely a dependable shooter. Washington's great twitch, excellent ball handling. Outside shot here from Johnson, and that goes down to tie things up at 12.
You can't leave Johnson that open. She is an accurate three-point shooter, has scored in double figures in 6 of her last 9 games, including a career-high 27, including 5 of 10 versus Virginia.
Coach Birdie said she's really starting to evolve and become a 3-level scorer. She's knowing where to attack and getting used to more physicality as well if she wants to charge. As mass substitutions now enter the game for both teams. Take a look at this first shot here by Bonner.
That's a good strong take, protected the basketball on her left hip and then finished over Khadija Faye.
And Johnson left a little bit too wide open by FSU on the defensive side. That pitch is really needing some more offensive consistency, and Johnson with that 27-point performance against Virginia was a great sign. Had 12 points in the first quarter. In fact, her last 6 home games, she's averaging 17.5 points per game. It's on the road where they're hoping that she can develop a little bit more. Just 2 double-digit point totals in the last 7 road games, and that's a backcourt violation that'll go the way of Florida State.
That was really good defense by Florida State. Credit Amaya Bonner on that. Coach Brooke Wyckoff called her one of the best on-ball defenders on this Florida State team. Bonner putting a lot of pressure on the point guard, Miles. Forced that turnover by the Panthers.
Hard shot attempt by Bulls to try and end that first quarter to get the lead back, but
it was one that Florida State needed for a lot of reasons, but Florida State trying to keep in the pace to have that double bye in the ACC tournament.
As a travel against Malaya Williams. Not off to a good start here in the second quarter, but you're right, and the Seminoles need to get to that level of consistency that they've had. They've had 10 straight years of 10+ ACC wins, and that trend continues to happen. But obviously, it's such a competitive conference right now with what's ahead of them, with the #1 team in the country, Notre Dame alone. NC State, as Faye gets another bucket underneath the rim. And you got North Carolina, Duke, Georgia Tech's in the mix. This is a really competitive conference. And you need all the help you can get to position yourself when the time of the ACC tournament comes along. Carla Viegas, a sharpshooter, still has not found the bucket or the basket just yet in this game. A nice offensive rebound by Bonner. Loses the ball, able to stay with it, and able to finish strong. Good perseverance by Amaya Bonner.
Yeah, Florida State could certainly use Amaya Bonner to get heated up here this evening. The foul called inside. I think that's Avery Treadwell that's going to get whistled. Let's take another look at the Amaya Bonner shot. Gets the ball knocked away, stays with the ball, a little off balance, but able to get it up and over those long arms of Khadija Faye.
Yeah, that is no easy task. Who's one of the best shot blockers in the nation. Faye too strong off the tall part of the glass. Seminoles trying to get that transition game back in flow. And Pitt only with 8 active players, so Seminoles' name of the game is run. Run, run, run. Try and wear down their opponents.
And that's really always the name of the game for this Florida State team.
And a push-off foul charged against Bowles. A little shove she gave, I think, to Washinitz. Maybe take another look at that.
Take another look. Sydney Bowles trying to get Washinitz out. And she did drop her shoulder and shove a little bit. Didn't like the initial contact. That's a good call. Sydney Bowles with the push-off. Already 8 turnovers for Florida State. This is a Florida State team that averages only 10 a game, one of the lowest in the league.
Oh, what a nice kiss off the glass by Faye to come away with 2 and gets the lead back to 2 for Pitt.
Yeah, 9 points already on 4 of 10 shooting for Khadija Faye.
But once again, Bowles struggling to find the basket. Bonner thought about a 3, got better of it. Faye gets right in her way.
There's a pile of players, and Bonner looks like she might have taken the worst of that one.
And Washinitz able to get the bucket and will go to the line for another free throw.
Yeah, Florida State certainly cannot afford any more injuries. Washinitz taking advantage of it.
So Washinitz with another bucket. Taking another look at what happened with Bonner. Faye comes up to really charge.
That ankle as she stepped on Faye. Good camera work there.
But this shot by
that.
Yeah, what a great shot by Faye against Treadwell. Washinitz trying to get the and one, and she finds it. So the Panthers out to a 5-point lead, biggest of the evening so far. We're trying to press the issue here against the Seminoles as Dos Santos in trouble. Finds Bowles, back to Timpson in the paint. See Pitt really hacking away with the arms, getting them up, and they force another turnover.
Yeah, they got the ball inside the KK Timpson, what the Seminoles were looking to do, but then quickly the double team came. Timpson didn't have anywhere to go. 3 turnovers in the last minute and a half for Florida State.
It's interesting seeing the Seminoles with a little bit of adversity here. But you thought this might be something that could happen, as you see what an effort by Miles. Just misses it barely, and Battle comes up, unable to break it down. Dos Santos trying to run and stream past the Panthers defense. Viegas from deep, and she gets it to go down. They really need Carla Viegas to get hot, and that was a big 3 from Carla Viegas, number 13.
Carla Viegas had a season high against these Pitt Panthers last year up in Pittsburgh.
The Spaniard doing what she can, clawing the Noles back to within 2. Battle, another attempt. Battle again with an offensive rebound, now outside. This one missed by Elmore. Viegas looked like she got hit in the eye.
I think that was friendly fire. Sydney Bowles was going for the offensive board. Hit Carla in the face, and now she's bleeding. She's gonna need to go out.
You can see from here, she's got a scar, drawing a little bit of blood from just underneath the right eye. So she will come off. Oof. Tough, willing to keep on going, but obviously when you have that happen, you gotta make sure everything's all medically cleared and good. So she'll head back, get taped up. Snoop Turnage in, and Valenzuela, Mariana Valenzuela in as well now. Timpson able to save this ball. Faye's got her cornered, trying to slip through on the baseline, but this is a turnover again. Elmore and Pitt now in transition to Washinitz. Good move, but unable to finish again. Noles doing a good job back on transition D.
Yeah, both teams just a little out of rhythm right now. Who can settle in first?
Bowles, top of the key. A little bit strong. Back part of the rim. Now Miles will slow it down with a 2-point lead. And that's 6 minutes left here in the second quarter. Battle out to Miles again, trying to find Faye, and they do. This one tipped and will go against Snoop Turnage and the Seminoles, so Pitt will maintain possession with 20 on the shot clock. As you see, Makayla Johnson re-entering the game. And she gets the ball off the throw-in, and denied by Valenzuela. All over the back.
Mariana Valenzuela might have made some contact there, but they called it clean up top.
Oh yeah, all ball. Washenitz, 11v11 here with Bowles. Washenitz with good movement. Faye shot from outside. That unable to go down. So Faye's kind of cooled off a little bit. Dos Santos showing her energy, able to hang on to the ball. Gotta be careful with Miles. She has a few steals this year. Washenitz with the most.
That was Timpson inside. Nice pass from Valenzuela to get it to Timpson, and then Timpson trying to dump it off to Snoop Turnage, but I believe Timpson was fouled on the pass. First foul on Makayla Johnson.
That'll be an inbound. Snoop Turnage with the ball. Gets it to Timpson. Turnaround spin move. And will draw the foul this time, and she will go to the line.
If that's on Faye, that's going to be her second, and that's big. We'll see if Torrey Verdon trusts his graduate transfer to stay in the game. Doesn't look like he's going to the bench, so that'll be interesting to see if KK Timpson can be a little more physical inside with Faye.
That's just the big struggle, I think, with Coach Verdi right now is he only has 3 bench players. How do you manage the expectation in your fouls? Especially with a foul, with such a star in Faye, you don't want to bring her off the court.
Yeah, you certainly need her in the game as much as she can.
Timpson will depart.
She's a veteran, so you expect that maybe you give her a little more leeway. Let her try to play through it. Hope she can avoid picking up that foul.
KK Timpson will depart and hit the bench, get a breather herself, and this is an off-the-ball foul.
It's Valenzuela and Faye, and they're mixing it up. That one going on Valenzuela. Pitt 0 of their last 10 from the floor. Let's see if they can get a good look here against this pesky Seminole defense.
There's a turnover. Williams getting it over to Bowles. Elevates and gets above Washenitz easily. And the Noles have the lead once more at 21-19.
It's a 7-0 run now for Florida State over the last 2.5 minutes.
Washenitz around the screen. A lot of traffic up there at the three-point line. Elmore from deep in the corner, off the side of the glass. And this ball goes out of bounds. And that will take us to a media timeout. So what's been a bit of an offensive struggle for both sides, the Seminoles all of a sudden finding a little bit more rhythm in their direction, have the lead at 21-19 here in the second. Defensively, Pitt with 4 steals, FSU with 6 blocks.
Yeah, neither team really has been able to find a rhythm yet on the offensive end. Pitt shooting just 26%, Florida State a little bit better at 40%, but well below their season average.
And as we kind of anticipated, the 2 stars here down low are the point leaders, with Faye for Pitt with 9 and Timpson at 10. Shot by Bowles, missing the mark.
Florida State just 1 of 8 from the three-point line. They averaged 9 made threes a game. There's another big block from KK Timpson.
That gives her 4 on the night already. Entered tonight with 4th in the entire nation as Bowles again struggling to put the ball down into the basket.
Cindy Bowles 1 of 7 from the floor, 0 of 3 from the three-point line.
Bowles got out to such a hot start on the road in Coral Gables.
She's a veteran, though, and I think has some confidence and will continue to attack the basket and try to make things happen for her team.
Johnson, however, also pretty cold right now. And you mentioned the 3 points, the three-point game for the Noles right now. Seminoles did not have a 3-point made against Miami in the second half. Only one here to start as Dos Santos, in her first start this season, gets on the board with 2 points. That gives her, actually that's her first made bucket of the night, so she is on the board with points.
That's a 9-0 run now for Florida State over the last 4 minutes.
And this turnover not to be finished by Dos Santos. She read it perfectly, but unable to hang on to it as Washington's cannot get to find the rim here, and that'll go back to the Seminoles.
Yeah, Florida State has really turned up that defensive intensity. Dos Santos couldn't quite come up with that one, but forced a rushed shot by Marley Washington.
Khadija Faye back into the game, taking over for Audrey Biggs, a freshman that Coach Tori Verdi says is really working her way to earning more playing time. Very coachable player, willing to play any position. And when you only have 8 players, you need to be willing to do what you have to do for the team. As Bonner not able to get the ball above the rim. Good defense shown once again by Pitt.
Now Bonner able to get into the paint, but then just a little short on the finish. Marley Washington just took a clothesline from her own teammate.
And she smiled more toward this way.
Good to see Carla Viegas coming back into the game. She had to leave with a cut under that right eye.
See it all closed up. And Aaron Battle in for Pitt, right alongside Carla Viegas. And down to Miles. One of the best end-to-end guards here for Pitt. Really athletic, can run the floor. This one by Dos Santos gets in the way of Faye, trying to work her way back in transition, and she's able to get the bucket in one. Dos Santos fired up.
Yeah, Ayani Dos Santos gives the little flex on him as well. She's fired up, trying to get her teammates going here.
A player that transferred from Gulf Coast State College, trying to make her presence known here for Florida State here in the ACC.
Dos Santos with the big steal to get things started on the defensive end. 5 points now for Ayani Dos Santos. You mentioned back at Gulf Coast State, career high 33 points in late March last season, allowed her to be all Panhandle Conference last season for.
So a timeout called by Pitt, trying to get themselves right. They do not want to let this game get out of hand too early. This is probably the best opportunity a team could have against the Seminoles with 2 big starters down. They're still very much in this game. They just got to find a little more rhythm here.
Certainly are, but it's been all Florida State for the last 5 minutes. A 12-0 run. Pitt 0 of 14 over that time span.
0 for the last 14 are Pitt from the floor. And that's just the biggest key, I think, for Pitt to find success as Coach Verdi tries to build this program up. You just need more consistent scoring. And it can't just be from your big center in Khadija Faye. You've got to find other players, which is what they're looking for in Makayla Johnson and Marley Washington. But they have not really been successful tonight thus far. Only very minimal scoring from both of those players who are trying to come on the rise. But the Seminoles doing a nice job right now of really getting in the face of Pitt with shot blocks and nice sticky defense, especially at the perimeter.
Yeah, that's a turnover there by Aaron Battle, just trying to make the skip pass and a little too high. That'll frustrate a coach, that after timeout play. You always want them to execute what you've drawn up.
What a spin move. Put Khadija Faye through the spin cycle, did Makayla Timpson.
What a move from the senior KK Timpson.
It looks like Williams will be with another foul off the ball against Elmore.
I want to see another look at that. Let's take a look at that spin cycle move from KK Timpson, and then the finish with the left hand over one of the best shot blockers in the league.
Timpson really is an all-around forward. I mean, when you really think about it, she can get up high, she can get underneath, and she can move laterally so fluidly. to get to a spot where she can find a shot to make for herself.
Yeah, her draft stock continues to rise. I expect her to be a first-rounder in the W here in April. She has such a tremendous upside, and again, she would get my vote for Defensive Player of the Year. Her steals are up, her blocks are up. She just makes it hard for opposing teams to get anything in the paint.
She's already going to go down as one of the great Seminole basketball players of all time, with 44 career double-doubles, most of any FSU player, and still has all the potential in the world for more. Elmore getting in the face of Timpson. Nice defensive prowess there by number 3.
Elmore just walled up there, made it hard for Timpson.
Johnson with a 3, and that one goes down. So finally, Makayla Johnson shows up here.
And that's a great way to get right back in this ball game, is knock down big threes from Makayla Johnson.
That is a big-time tray from beyond the arc. Timpson able to save that from another turnover as Faye draws an offensive foul charged by Timpson.
Now you got 2 fouls apiece, 2 on Faye and 2 on Timpson.
And Timpson will head back to the bench. Brooke Wyckoff not going to take that chance to see Johnson. Very smooth delivery on that 3 ball, and Timpson just a little too aggressive. Melissa, you touched on it. How aggressive does Timpson want to be against Faye with the 2 fouls? Unfortunately, a little too overzealous in that instance.
Yeah, Timpson welcomes the contact, not afraid to play through that contact, but didn't need to initiate that time. Could have used her athleticism, I think, to get around Faye, but instead tries to go through her and gets whistled for the foul.
Sometimes you just experiment with what you're truly capable of, and with the all-around talent that Timpson is, she can score in multiple different ways. This one, however, for Pitt, still unable to get a lot of offensive rhythm going, as this will be another backcourt violation. 33.2 seconds left, and the Seminoles see if they can get another quality offensive possession here before the half.
The Seminoles can almost hold for 1 shot here. I'll be curious to see if they try to score quickly or if they just try to work the clock out.
Viegas with a quick shot for 3. Treadwell in the game with the rebound, and this time Florida State can hold for a long period of time. However, shot clock did not reset. I got 10 seconds here on the shot clock. Dos Santos stripped, but the ball will remain with the Seminoles. 7 on the shot clock.
It's an interesting one because that shot was so quick. The Seminoles actually lost time on the shot clock. It was only a 3-second differential. Now we're at about an 8-second differential because of the reset.
Back inbound. Less than 15 to go. Treadwell down the baseline. Here's the handle. Elmore, and she puts it up. Actually finds the rim. However, not able to go down. Back the other way. Battle for Pitt. Gets free and unable to get that to go down. However, a foul called late. And Battle's going to go to the line. Treadwell draws the foul. So Pitt with a chance to cut into this lead right before the break.
Avery Treadwell back trying to challenge the shot. Just runs into Battle after the shot was released. Don't see that very often, but Battle going to go to the free throw line to try to get this game just a little bit closer here at the half.
66% free throw shooter knocks the first one down, and the Seminoles were on such a hot run there for a while, Melissa, and Pittsburgh with the big 3 by Johnson, and now this foul gives them a chance to work their way right back into it, and 2 knockdowns for Battle. Makes it a 2-point game at the break. So it has been quite the defensive battle here. Both teams kind of struggling offensively a bit. However, you know, you look at the 8 points fewer.
Malaya Williams right here in front of us doing some jumping jacks, trying to get things going, making things difficult on the defensive end.
Coming out with the energy here in the third quarter. You gotta love that. Something Brooke Wyckoff loves about her team. Good for them to come, good for our team to come out so focused, and they need to do it here with only a 2-point edge. Washenitz out to Faye. Timpson. Once again, those 2 go to work. Faye way too strong there. Goes way beyond, off the glass. Didn't even hit the rim. Dos Santos gets it to Timpson.
Ooh, and that's going to be a foul on Faye.
Yep, number 3.
A little bit of a risky pass there from Hayani Dos Santos, but she trusts her post player in there, throws it up to KK Timpson, and Faye picks up her 3rd.
No sub here by Tori Verdi as Dos Santos tries a 3, and another missed one from the Seminoles.
It was a really good look off the set play from the inbounds. for Hayani Dos Santos.
So Faye working with 3 fouls. Will take an outside shot. That one just missing. Found a little bit of the inside of the rim. We'll see how much Faye resorts to that to try and avoid foul trouble here going forward in the third.
I think if you're Pitt, you have to try to get her the ball on the low block. See if she can score and go one-on-one with KK Timpson without any help side.
Sydney Bowles, is she one player that can get hot for the Seminoles? Timpson with a rare 3 from outside. Almost got it to go off of the glass.
KK Timpson knocked one down in the Miami game early. Feeling confident from the 3-point line with her stroke.
Johnson able to work off of Bowles.
That'll be a matchup I want to keep an eye on too, is that Makayla Johnson and Sydney Bowles, which of those two players can kind of get heated up? Those are the second top scorers on each of these two teams.
Johnson with only 6 points in that first half, make it 8 now. And coming off a monster performance against Virginia, 27 points this past weekend. Elmore down low, great passing inside, Faye, but denied. I think maybe one too many passes that time by Pitt.
Yeah, KK Timpson there with the block. Take another look at that spin move from Makayla Johnson. Nice strong take in there. 8 points now for Johnson.
One of those key players for Coach Verdi who they want to see get going. And this one, a rare miss by Timpson. Tried to slip in under Faye.
Brooke Wyckoff looking for the foul on that one.
Faye able to work in transition, getting past Timpson and compete against Viegas, and the Panthers have the lead. Continuing this run for Pitt, starting the second half with a 4-0 run. Bonner to Viegas. Nice job slipping it through over to Timpson above Washington's and Faye. Viegas, rarely you ever see her really charge in toward the paint. And this time Faye does a nice job. Timpson
gambled a little bit that time, trying to go for the steal, and instead doesn't come up with the ball and gives Faye an easy bucket.
Yeah, Timpson immediately after that happened, she just patted her chest, said, "That was my bad." Viegas, however, that's my good bucket right there from beyond the arc.
Carla Viegas stepping up for Florida State.
Back and forth we go, and another rejection by Timpson. Noles with the lead at 33-32, trying to work back in transition. And that pace going back up again. Bowles from beyond the arc. And this one, a mistake by Pitt. They had 2 players right there for the rebound and unable to handle it, and the Noles get a free possession.
Well, that was a really good hustle play by Malaya Williams, crashing the offensive glass hard. She didn't come up with it. She was able to keep it alive. Carla Viegas there. Nobody closed out hard enough. Got to put a hand up in her face. Don't give her any space to get a good look.
Yeah, even with the player there in position, you know, you got to challenge Viegas, who's
that's a foul.
One of the best 3-point shooters out there.
KK Timpson got wrapped up that time by Makayla Elmore.
So Elmore will be charged her second.
Well, that might have been a shooting foul. Looked like KK Timpson was trying to go up with that one. They're going to say it was on the ground.
Timpson trying to slip, but is able to draw another foul. And again, it's on Elmore, so 2 quick fouls for the senior from Astoria, Ohio.
Again, a lot of not a lot of depth for Tori Verdi, just 8 healthy players and really only 2 true posts in Elmore and Faye. Now both of them have 3 personal fouls.
As Faye is on the bench right now for Pitt. Probably trying to save her for the later stages here, but obviously if Elmore collects one more, you got to imagine Faye comes back into the game as Timpson knocks down that first free throw.
There is Faye on the bench. Can't imagine she's going to stay too long over there. Probably just enough to get her a little break.
And this by Timpson. Faye from Dakar, Senegal originally, has a lot of international experience. A double transfer from Texas Tech and Texas has come in and really taken charge, and Tori Verdi's done a great job developing her. Washington's with some great movement inside as Johnson starting to heat up. from beyond the arc, knocks down another three.
Johnson now into double figures with 11 for the Panthers.
And Pitt, once again, retakes the lead. Back and forth, a lot of lead changes happening right now. Amaya Bonner with a three from beyond. So the three ball's starting to heat up a bit for both teams here after a struggle in the first half. Faye ready to come back in as Johnson works to operate and draws a foul. Valenzuela charged with it, and Johnson will get the opportunity to take the lead once again.
Good take from Makayla Johnson. Florida State got caught on that switch. Valenzuela didn't get in front, slide those feet. Then she tried to take the foul, but that's not going to work. Makayla Johnson, too athletic and explosive to the rim.
And in that, when you get that far back or behind, when the play's kind of that all gone, sometimes you just have to let up and let them have it.
Yeah, that's a mistake by the veteran Mariana Valenzuela. You either got to make sure that she can't finish that play, or you got to just let it go and back off.
And it gives Pitt the lead again, 38-37. Hard physical foul as Miles will get charged with the foul. A little too aggressive as Sydney Bowles was trying to work her way up the court.
And you see Pitt trying to put pressure on the ball handlers of Florida State.
Right in front of us here, Bowles will throw it in. Reset the shot clock. Well, about 5:26 left here in this third quarter. Pitt with a 1-point lead. Valenzuela due to make up for that foul. Timpson, that's an easy way to do it. Feed number 21.
KK Timpson just elevates over Khadija Faye. Again, Faye with those 3 fouls doesn't want to pick up another one. Has to just kind of let it go.
Miles to Faye, punched away by Bowles. And that'll still be in possession of Pitt. Nothing easy tonight for both sides. It has been very, very difficult.
Gotta take a quick look here. I think making sure that the shot clock is right. I don't think it hit the rim on anything, so that is correct.
17 on the shot clock. 5:01 left in the third. As Elmore, late substitution here, in for Biggs. So Verdi putting in his 2 forwards with 3 fouls. Into Faye, out to Elmore. She'll take a 3 and not able to find the rim. Pitt's arguing that Timpson tipped it. It does not look like they're going to get that call. We're going to head to break. So the Seminoles. Well, Makayla Johnson starting to heat up here, Melissa, after a fairly cold first half. Really starting to get her 3-ball right, becoming the complete scorer that she's turning herself into, with 14 points now leading the way for Pitt.
Yeah, Florida State going to need to make some defensive adjustments and match up with her.
They've been so focused on Faye, and rightfully so. But those two now have become that dynamic duo this season. See, with 14 points tonight, now 5 of 10 from the floor.
I mentioned she's coming off that career high of 27 at Virginia.
Washington still not able to get going. She's another one of those players that Coach Verdi's thinking about. She could be an offensive weapon. Bowles with the dribbling ability. Behind the back, working her way all around the court, and able to come away with 2.
Yeah, whipped that one around the back, did Sydney Bowles, and then found her way to the left side.
Faye struggling just a little bit, claps those hands in frustration.
Ooh, Sydney Bowles with the heat check there, trying to get some things going.
Bowles has had a tough night. You know, that bucket that she just had was only her 2nd of the evening. 2 for 10 on the night.
Yeah, Sydney Bowles was red hot from beyond the 3-point line, and Florida State's win at Miami has yet to connect. 0 of 5 from the 3-point line here tonight.
Swiping for Johnson. Bowles trying to get a little hand on that ball, and Faye fights her way off of Timpson and draws the foul off of KK. She'll be able to go to the line for 2 shots.
And this is a great battle against 2 of the best post players in the league. Faye and Timpson fighting it out inside. Timpson picking up her 3rd personal, so she's going to go to the bench. Avery Treadwell going to draw that assignment now for Florida State.
Brooke Wyckoff and the Noles have a little bit more leverage when it comes to the bench. More options with players than Pitt.
Florida State going to go a little smaller in the post, though, as they've got now Snoop Turnage in at the 4 spot with Avery Treadwell at the 5.
Treadwell, though, a very hard-nosed competitor. She's definitely someone who can rise to the occasion. And Faye with 2 critical free throws in a game that's already seen 15 lead changes. Nip and tuck in the Tucker Center. Again, Pitt applying a bit of a, not quite a full court press, but close enough to it. See if they can force more turnovers. Viegas with another 3 attempts, still 2 off the mark. Here come the Panthers.
Florida State just 3 of 15 from the arc tonight.
Viegas with 2 of those. Faye. Treadwell does a nice job holding her ground.
Avery Treadwell bodied her up, tried to draw the charge.
Bowles passes outside to Dos Santos. Viegas with an open 3, hits it.
That's money for Carla Viegas. It's like a layup for number 13 if you leave her that open. Great extra pass from Florida State.
That's her 3rd 3. Gets the Noles out to a 4-point lead.
Again, Viegas had her career high. Last time these 2 teams met, she had 17 up at Pitt. Nobody there on the closeout. Viegas will make you pay.
9 points, all 3s. Very rarely she'll take a 2. That is just her sweet spot in her comfort zone.
Yeah, in fact, she has not made a 2 all season for Florida State.
With Treadwell and Viegas.
3 seconds in the lane. Good defense there as the ball went into Faye. Avery Treadwell, Carla Viegas making it rough.
Yeah, a little combined double team right there.
Not sure that was designed to be a double team, but good recognition from Florida State.
Well, Viegas also denied a pass inside, too. She basically used her body to break up the flow of Pitt's offense in that half court. Viegas again from 3. This is good as well. Heat-seeking missile is Carla Viegas. She's from Spain. She could probably hit a 3 from Spain from this distance. My goodness.
It's a 6-0 run by Carla Viegas herself. That'll take us to immediate timeout with the Noles up 7 here in Tallahassee.
For number 13, Carla Viegas, and gets the Noles out to a little bit more of a comfortable spot, 47-40. Wearing a battle scar already tonight is Carla Viegas. As you see the elbow there against her own teammate, Sydney Bowles, but that has not deterred her from making some quality shots here, Melissa.
Yeah, Carla Viegas has come out here in the second half, been on fire, knocked down some big shots for the Noles, 4 of 8 from the 3-point line. She had a career high earlier this season, went 6 of 9 versus North Carolina Central. Might she be on pace for that kind of performance here tonight for the Noles?
Without Tania Latson and Omaria Gordon, you got to figure Florida State's going to have to resort to other sources of offensive production besides Makayla Timpson, and Viegas is certainly doing that here in the most recent action here. In fact, 6-0 run here for the Seminoles in the last 38 seconds, all courtesy of those 2 threes from Carla Viegas.
Let's see what Pitt has drawn up. Florida State coming out with some full court pressure here in the backcourt.
Dos Santos and Turnage really forcing the issue on Brooklyn Miles. They're right at the edge of the baseline. Able to save it. Get a possession out of it here. That's Faye. See what she can do at some point, but Elmore right now with the possession. Dos Santos all over her, washing it. Return. Shift back out to Elmore. Shot clock down, and a travel against number 3, Elmore.
That was a great defensive possession after that timeout for Florida State. Really applied great ball pressure, did a nice job communicating on the switches, and didn't allow the shot from the Pitt Panthers.
Only about 1 left on the shot clock to boot. Elmore had to work quickly, but unfortunately couldn't get the ball down before 3 steps. Bowles, good screen set by Treadwell to open her up, and not able to go down. this one fouled against Treadwell, it looks like, or maybe she stepped out of bounds.
Stepped out of bounds, didn't establish herself back in. She was doing a nice job crashing the offensive glass, had done a nice spin move on the baseline to get around Faye, but then stepped out of bounds, didn't establish herself back in the court.
Now she's going back to work against Faye, gets some help from Turnage. Johnson now. Good strength shown by Johnson to get into the paint for a straight-up shot.
Yeah, did a nice job protecting the basketball with her body and then finishing strong at the rim. Johnson now with 16 points to lead the Panthers.
Santos to Treadwell. You see some of FSU's depth here on the court here late in the third quarter with 1 minute to go. Turnage. Ball moving, great feed to Treadwell, and she finishes the job.
It's the second time we've seen a great pass from Snoop Turnage to make things easy for her teammates. Draws the defense, finishes.
Right down the baseline. Turnage using all the real estate she can, as limited as it may be. But able to come away with points, draw defenders, and a reach-in foul here by Treadwell. Averaging little over 3 points per game. Trying to work the minutes she can.
See this play again. That's no look from Snoop Turnage.
No look, no problem for Snoop.
And then nice strong finish from Avery Treadwell. Gives a little fist bump as well. Tells her teammate, thank you very much for that one.
Inbound to Washington. Pitt trying to answer, down by 7. Clock ticking here in the third. Johnson, 2 Noles in her face. Couldn't get that one to fall. And the Noles can let the clock run out here with the last possession if they so choose.
That great veteran move by Sydney Bowles, knowing the time, the score. Just walk the ball up the floor. No need to hurry it. Take the last shot here of the quarter.
Santos feeds it to Bowles. 7 on the clock. Viegas back to Bowles. 4, she'll take the shot off the mark. This one's going to bounce out of bounds with 0.5 seconds remaining. And go to Pitt, see if they can heave one up. And not able to get a shot away was Washington, and that was off the mark as it was. But the Seminoles able to break out to a little
win here. They still have some opportunities in front of them to work their way back up into that first round bye in the top 4 seeds.
Timpson looking to start off strong, and that was too strong of a shot. Off the glass and off the rim. So an opportunity for Pitt to carve into the lead. Double teamed is Faye, trying to outlet it to Johnson, and that one just out of her reach. And it's a turnover for the Panthers.
That's good recognition from Faye. She saw the double team come. She knew where it was coming from, but just couldn't make the pass and get it to her teammate.
So the Seminoles really could use this victory before those final 3 games. Got to finish off strong here as Bowles took a hard shot. Hits the deck and back the other way. Pitt goes in transition battle, and this one off of her foot. A second turnover by Pitt. Another unforced error by the Panthers. Too many of those this season.
Just an unfortunate break for Pitt there. Doing everything right. They got the stop. They were out in transition, had the 3-on-2 break. And then as Battle went to put it on the ground, just kicked it off her foot. I don't think she needed to dribble on that one, Trevor. I think she could have just taken one big step and taken it up. An unfortunate break. That's the 11th turnover of the game for the Pitt Panthers.
And Battle departs as Washington takes her spot, as Faye looking to get a little antsy and aggressive on that pass outside the paint against Timpson. Bowles. Screen didn't go to her liking. Williams. And Washington strips her back the other way.
Both teams a little sloppy here coming out of the break.
Washington leads the Pitt Panthers in steals. In fact, is top 10 in the ACC. And Faye draws the foul off Timpson, gets the bucket to boot.
The bigger point of note there, that's 4 on KK Timpson, so she's going to have to go to the bench.
Brooke Wyckoff over here scratching her head. What do I do? Do I keep 21 in or not right now? Looks like she will make that change. As Timpson, just slides way too far up on the jump. Pretty easy call.
Got up off of her feet trying to block that shot, but then just needed to try to avoid the body contact. And as we talked about earlier with Valenzuela, just let her go. She's going to make it anyway.
So Timpson Take a breather. Faye not able to knock down that free throw, however. So it's only a 5-point game. Pitt still very well within striking distance to make this a game and to come away with a 4th ACC win. Again, that would be the most the Pitt Panthers have had in a season since 2016-17. As Bonner, nice job of challenging and driving up. Gets Florida State beyond 50 for the night.
Now, Maya Bonner's so bouncy there.
Washington's a little bouncy on that jump shot. And this will go out of bounds against Faye and the Panthers. So Pitt trying to really work quickly to get back to within 4 points on that 3-point attempt.
Let's take another look at that Bonner shot. Gets by Pitt and then just explodes to the rim over the outstretched arms of Makayla Johnson.
Noles and Bonner.
Looks like Bonner going to try to do it again.
Back out to Viegas, trying to go to her left. Challenged by Washington. It's no problem whatsoever. Viegas with a 5th 3.
Step back 3 from Carla Viegas. 15 points on 5 of 9 from the 3-point line.
Biggest lead of the night for the Seminoles to boot. 54-44, 10-point advantage. Faye. A travel called against the Panthers.
Right idea for Pitt. That's exactly what you want to do in that situation, is get the ball back inside to your go-to player. And Khadija Faye just shuffled her feet a little bit there.
And taking one more look at Viegas' step back 3, just gets those toes back behind that 3-point arc. Highly impressive by Viegas.
Let's see if the Noles run another set play to try to get Carla Viegas a 3.
Williams, and this is a travel.
And Williams had the mismatch inside. Again, that's the right play. Williams at 6'4", going up against the 5'5" Brooklyn Miles on the switch. Williams a little too eager, shoveled those feet.
Graduate transfer from Cincinnati. Been working her way to get more playing time. Provides great length, as you can tell. Johnson from 3. Unable to get that one.
Big time rebound there from Malaya Williams. That's what she's in there for.
Timpson out, need that length, and Malaya provides that. Outside, Viegas. Got Bonner in the corner. I thought better of it. Letting the clock go a little bit here on the shot clock and draws the foul. Bonner unfortunately shaken up here underneath the basket.
I think she got caught in the face on that foul. Trying to give her some time to shake it off and get up. Not sure she's going to be able to.
Again, as you touched on, Melissa, earlier, Florida State can ill afford any more injuries, especially with the schedule they have coming up. But Bonner trying to tough it out, but sometimes you just need a little bit for your eyes to catch back into it. And they'll take a timeout here, see if Bonner can get herself back together. 54-44 in favor of the Seminoles. So the referee's looking at a couple different things here as we welcome you back. Florida State up 54-44. Checking on if Amaya Bonner's foul is upgraded to maybe a flagrant. As that is a big scrape of the eyes by Marley Washenitz.
Yeah, that is not going to be upgraded. That is a foul, but Amaya Bonner actually not able to shoot the free throws. There you see her on the bench.
That right eye.
That eye not seeing so well right now. So Hayani Dos Santos going to come in to take the free throws. She's a 78% free throw shooter. Amaya Bonner actually a 93% free throw shooter. Florida State, one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country. They lead the ACC at 80%.
Yeah.
They average 15 made free throws a game. This is just the 7th made one tonight. Make it 8.
And the other thing the officials were looking at was whether Carla Viegas got that foot back beyond the arc, and it looks like she did because the score has not changed. So it's a 12-point advantage for the Seminoles, 56-44, 6:44 remaining.
That 12-point lead is the largest of the game for Florida State. It's going to be a foul on Sydney Bowles. Too much hands on Makayla Johnson as she tried to get to the rim. Just the second team foul on Florida State. There's a little 7-0 run here to start the quarter for the Noles.
Yeah, both teams have fouls to play with. Doing a good job in this second half of keeping those low.
Khadija Faye and Mariana Valenzuela in there mixing it up. Official Tiffany Bird in there to settle things down and keep law and order out there on the Tucker Center floor.
Faye with 17 points this evening, doing what she can about her average. Only player in the ACC, by the way, to average 18-plus points and 10-plus rebounds. Almost got beyond 18 there. Got a little too strong again. A little too forceful on that shot off the glass, and so the Seminoles will quickly work it back into the half court. Dos Santos, good dribble between the legs. Getting around Miles. Double team now. Washenitz able to force the jump ball, and that will go to Pitt.
And Florida State played the entire third quarter without a turnover. Now already 3 again here to start the fourth quarter, up to 15 for the game.
Again, Pitt doing a much better job in that department as a defense. And this one goes right to Viegas, but Faye rips it out of Viegas' hands. Seminoles, however, are able to get the rebound as Faye couldn't finish.
It's Malaya Williams in there to clean up the glass. She's got 6 boards already for the Noles.
There's been so many times where Pitt's done a great job defensively. They get back in transition, but they can't finish the job. There was an instance, this is another turnover for the Seminoles, make it 16, where Pitt had 4 straight layup attempts last time out against Virginia and missed all of them. And that's just a part of the frustrating development for Coach Verdi, where we just need to finish and get the job done of being efficient throughout the entire sequence of a play. That's the next phase perhaps for Pitt to get where they want to go. Washington's good pass between 2 Seminoles, but again,
it's going to be a jump ball, and it should be Florida State ball.
It will be.
Faye ended up on the ground.
Faye pleading her case, but not going to win the argument against Tiffany Bird.
One of those things you're taught early on as a post player. You cannot bring the ball down. There's too many hands down there. All the little guards want to swat it away. That's exactly what happened that time with Faye.
Yeah, not everybody's 6 foot tall and beyond, but everybody's at least 1 foot tall, so you got to be aware of that. Everybody can reach down to the ground. And screen, and Washenitz draws it. Williams can't believe it. Neither can anybody cheering on FSU here in the building. I think the foul's going to Malaya Williams.
She was trying to hand the ball off, and she says she didn't move into it. We're going to take another look here. Let's see. Williams cannot move into the screen. I think she did.
Does a little bit.
That's a good call. Crowd didn't like it here, but that's the right call.
Yeah, puts that right leg out just enough to get in the way of Washenitz. Gives it off to Elmore. Pitt's got to move and get some scoring here quickly. Down 12, less than 5 to go. And Johnson slips and falls. And still another foul, and this crowd is really letting the officials know about it as Bowles is charged with another foul herself.
Yeah, and Brooke Wyckoff encouraging Sydney Bowles, hey, I need you to calm down, stay in the game. I need your head in the game. Still 5 minutes left to go. Can't let your emotions get the best of you in a game like this.
Johnson for three, bouncing around, not able to fall. Faye, however, able to follow up. Excellent offensive rebounder and a great job in second chance opportunities.
At Faye, double-double already, 19 points, 13 rebounds.
Timpson back into the game for Florida State, trying to finish the job for the Seminoles. Viegas getting harassed by Washington's. Timeout by Brooke Wyckoff to save the possession. Washington's really starting to get going here on the defensive end.
Getting a little feisty out there on the floor. Carla Viegas didn't like that she was being harassed a little bit there by Marley Washington. It looked like there might have been some contact there. Viegas not taking too kindly to it. Last play, officials going to the review. There was some contact there on both sides. And at the end, there was a little bit of a swat from Carla Viegas. I don't think that's enough to upgrade, but I guess we will find out here momentarily from Tiffany Bird.
It was under review for contact. After review, it did not rise to the level of an intentional foul. We will resume play on Florida State's timeout on the sideline.
We'll get some clarification here.
Okay, just got confirmation that nothing additional charge to either side between Viegas and Washington.
That's good officiating. I don't think there was anything there that was warranting of an upgrade. It was a timeout by Brooke Wyckoff and Florida State, and it will be Florida State ball with 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Tiffany Bird explains that to Carla Viegas, maybe just making sure she understands, hey, gotta keep a cool head.
And then the fans are starting to chant, let them play. And I think that's a good, alarm clock for the officials as well. Perhaps he's get things rolling, but nonetheless, making sure you get the call right on the floor. As we have resumed play with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, Florida State has to operate quickly. Bowles takes the chance and is rewarded with her efforts with that layup. Gets the lead back to 12.
Bowles coming through for Florida State. 8 points now for the Noles.
Has had the most shot attempts for Florida State tonight, so it's not been an easy night. But coming up when it matters most, as Malaya Williams gets the defensive rebound, as Pitt can't follow through. Bowles.
That's going to be a hand check there. Number 11 on 11, as you called it. That's Marley Washington with the push on Sydney Bowles.
Those two have been certainly battling, especially we've been talking about Faye and Timpson tonight. These two have really been going at it pretty hard as well.
Take a look here at that last bucket from Bowles. Good, strong finish at the rim.
Bowles from the corner. Too far. And a rejection down there on the baseline by Malaya Williams, and also draws an out of bounds off of Pitt from Johnson.
We've seen that several times tonight. Malaya Williams with the extra hustle play, the extra effort. That's what you get from these upperclassmen who understand the value of each and every possession in a game like this.
Yeah, Brooke Wyckoff has spoken this season about how the experience level is up there for this Seminoles team. Perhaps more so than in recent years past. As Timpson draws a foul, she'll go to the line. And they know their defined roles and what they can account for. And even without Tania Latson and Omaria Gordon, they're able to still unify and put out the best result they possibly can here tonight.
Timpson going to go to the free throw line. Couldn't quite finish that one, but was contacted by Faye. Both players now with 4 personal fouls.
And that one not able to trickle in. Timpson on the verge possibly of a 20-point night. And actually with those 6 blocks has already tied a season best, which was set by KK Timpson last year at 87 blocks on the season. Only needs 1 more to break her own record. As Bowles with another hard defensive shot to Washington.
Yeah, Bowles came over and made sure that Washington wasn't going to finish that shot. I don't think there was any ill intent. Just, hey, we're not going to let you score. Tiffany Bird going to step in and just make sure everything stays calm and doesn't get too physical. Good officiating there.
Yeah, it just comes in really aggressively. Pretty easy call.
Hard foul.
Hard foul. From Fairmount, West Virginia, able to knock down that first one.
Washington has started every game this season for the Pitt Panthers. Averages about 8 points a game. Just about at her season average. She connects on this.
Not this time. We talked about how Pitt's only has 3 bench players. They've had a number of injuries. A couple of players have left. So this is a group that's really worked hard and it's showing a gritty performance. But right there, KK Timpson, once again with 2 more buckets, or 2 more points there on that bucket, I should say. And rejected with another block. And with that block, she has broken her own single season record, denying Brooklyn Miles.
Let's take another look at that one. It's one for the record books, Trevor. KK Timpson set the season record for blocks last year at 87. And with this is one that we're going to show you. She now has 88 for the season.
How about that? You know, also on the offensive end, and then coming right back defensively, getting right in the face, getting right in position and the paint to deny Brooklyn Miles of 2.
Yeah, does a nice job staying straight up, just kind of reaches those fingers out just enough to get her hand on the ball to challenge that. Keeps the ball in play, gets her team another possession on the offensive end. KK Timpson's a difference maker here tonight. 7 big blocks for Florida State.
Well, the early part of the year, she surpassed her head coach, Brooke Wyckoff, for 2nd all-time in blocks. Now she's on the verge of chasing #1 in career blocks here at FSU. That record is held by Jacinta Monroe at 301 career blocks.
How crazy would it be for KK Timpson, who wears number 21, to see her jersey retired alongside her head coach's number 21 jersey that's already in the rafters?
I don't know what you do there. Yes, just 2 21s. 21.1, 21.2, 21A, 21B. We're going to have to negotiate something off that one when it's all said and done. Washington's with a 3.
Washington's not going away quite yet. The Panthers still have a little bit left. Florida State going to slow things down. You don't see that very often, and you don't say that very often about a Florida State team.
To Timpson, now with 20 points on the night. Lost the handle a bit, but how about Malaya Williams able to recover and get the switch? Excellent turnaround jumper by number 22.
First bucket of the game for Malaya Williams, but she's got 10 big rebounds for Florida State.
Those all come in handy as Washington. Oh, what a move inside with a windmill. As Faye able to draw in a second chance point.
KK Timpson underneath making sure, hey, that's not on me, right? She was nowhere near the play.
I don't want to leave this game just yet.
Yeah, official Timothy Bryant said, no, that's not on you. It's on Dos Santos, but what a nice move from Washington.
See the nice little all-around work right there as Faye just gets well above Carla Viegas. I think the crowd acknowledging the record-breaking moment for Timpson.
KK Timpson's night, she was honored before the game for setting 1,000 rebounds, on her way to potentially setting the new career record in rebounds, and now is setting a season high in blocks tonight. Timpson putting her name all over these Florida State record books.
It just goes to show what a record-setting year this has been for Florida State women's basketball. I mean,
Malaya Williams, getting a really nice round of applause right now from this Seminole crowd. She has put out maximum effort tonight for Florida State.
No question. And what's become a team, it's really, I mean, obviously this is a team that's really a well-oiled machine, but they've really had to rally for each other here without Latson and Gordon. As you said, it's already been a record-setting season. First time in school history or program history that in a season where 3 separate players had 30-point-plus performances. Timpson part of that with Latson and Gordon. Just adding to it tonight with those block shots. Resetting the mark. And still with games to be had in hand, there's a chance she could get it up to 100 perhaps. Seminoles still out to an 11-point lead. Time is winding down. Bowles milking the clock. Miles trying to give her a game. Timpson against Faye one more time. Faye able to force a turnover here as Timpson lost it. 1:02 left. Pitt's going to need a lot of quick points here.
And Florida State now with 20 turnovers in this game. I'll have to look back, but I think that's the most they've had all season long.
And a timeout called by Miles and Pitt, trying to draw something up here in the last 57 seconds. See if they can force some quick shots, get some easy buckets.
We've seen stranger things happen. 11 points.
Pick up the Seminoles, but this is something that is an improved part of Pitt's game that they can certainly build upon for the future here down the stretch. A kick ball here by Viegas off the inbound, and they'll redo it. Washnick's to the inbound to Miles, but they have got to operate fast. Johnson, step back three, hits it, swish. So right off the bat, cuts the lead from 11 to 8. Tori Verdi's like, guys, we need to get in their face right now and force a foul. And they do. 46.3 to go.
Book and Miles came up quick to foul Sydney Bowles. Bowles on the season, 84% from the free throw line. Again, this is a Florida State team that as a team averages 80% from the line. Average 15 makes a game. They are 9 of 11 here for 82% tonight. These are big ones for Bowles.
Bowles, for her part, entered tonight just shy of 84%. Knocked down a couple already and knocks the first one here. So she is 3 for 3. And 4 for 4.
Confident stroke there from Sydney Bowles, and Tori Verdi will call a timeout, advance the basketball. Bowles now into double figures, the third player for Florida State to enter double figures. 10 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 4 personal fouls for Sydney Bowles. So you got to be careful if you're Florida State. Bowles and Timpson both with 4 personal fouls, and you got to guard that three-point line. Expect that it's probably going to go to Makayla Timpson. Florida State has been switching all screens most of the night. I expect that they would continue to do that here.
And that was the final timeout for Pitt, so they can't stop the clock on their timeouts alone.
Both teams now in the bonus. Any foul would be free throws for either team.
So another quick inbound here. Washenitz will look for someone. 23 to Johnson again. Dos Santos there to meet her. Inside to Faye. Doesn't take the outward pass. Had Elmore out there on the wing. But Faye tried to find a quick bucket, and it'll go in the way of the Seminoles.
Brooke Wyckoff now going to call the timeout to advance the basketball and get it up across the half-court line, so at least you're not in as much danger. If you do happen to turn it over, you've got to at least go half of the distance of the court to go score it.
Very wise timeout utilized here by Brooke Wyckoff. And not only to advance the ball, Melissa, but I'd imagine, you know, you could obviously work your way back into the backcourt if you need to as an emergency.
Absolutely.
But you'd like to obviously try and find something more down deep into that half court, perhaps, in case there is a turnover. Pitt still has to work their way all the way back up the court.
Different coaches have different philosophies about whether you'll throw it in the backcourt in this situation or not. Sometimes that's not a bad idea if you have a secure ball handler back there and you feel comfortable with them. It could allow you to run some extra time off the clock. Florida State going to send Carla Viegas all the way into the backcourt. See if they'll throw it to her or if she's just a decoy.
See what Sydney Bowles decides to do. Goes to Timpson, had to work. She's landed inside the half court. Otherwise it would have been a backcourt violation, but Bowles draws the foul. Heads up play by Timpson to keep the ball in the offensive half.
Yeah, a little dangerous there as you don't want to catch it right at the half court line. But good job by Timpson showing her athleticism to toss it back to the best free throw shooter that's in the lineup right now in Sydney Bowles.
Bowles had to actually, saw her just momentarily show a sigh of relief, hand over her heart, like thank goodness that all worked out. Because you had Dos Santos as well, kind of down the line, wide open, but decided to get into the reliable hands of KK Timpson, and in the end she draws the foul and knocks down 2 free throws, and it's a 12-point game again. Quickly now, Brooklyn Miles out to Washinitz. Viegas getting it her way. And
Ooh,
Timpson.
KK Timpson tipped the ball, and I think she tipped it back off of Washinitz. Let's see if they'll take a look at that.
Initially, that was what we saw from over here.
Yeah. Oh, they're going to say it was last touch by Timpson. I think they could review that, and I think they would see something different. Let's take another look.
Maybe she already had stepped out of bounds and she's part of the out-of-bounds area, but that's the only explanation because it clearly did go off of Washinitz. However, Elmore can't finish the job as Timpson with another rebound. Pitt not fouling, and finally they do. With 15.7 seconds left, it looks like about an insurmountable lead now as Bowles will return back to the free throw line.
Yeah, it looked like maybe they were trying to foul Bowles, and she was just showing off her nifty ball handling moves and dribbling around some people, and they couldn't catch up with her until Washinitz finally tracked her down. Florida State now.
Perfect. 8 for 8 is Bowles from the line.
15 of 17 from the free throw line for Florida State.
And another turnover. Faye can't handle the long pass, and that will just about wrap things up.
Torrey Verdi, you can read his lips. He's saying no fouls. Florida State can inbound it. They do have to get it across half court here, though, with 11 seconds left. Brooke Wyckoff points to her bench and tells Sydney Bowles to bring it right in front of the Seminole bench.
Well, it was not easy. Pitt certainly made a game of it, and Florida State had to earn all 69 of their points. But in the end, it is more than enough for Florida State to secure their 11th ACC win and go to 21-6.